Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the power of being so deeply imprinted in someone's thoughts that they cannot help but feel you, think of you, and carry you in their inner world day and night, not by force, not by struggle, but by the gentle, unseen law of the mind and spirit, which always unites you with that which you hold in deep conviction. This is not fantasy. It is the natural working of the invisible connection between souls. The truth is, you are already connected to the one you love through thought and feeling, and what you impress upon your own mind must be reflected in theirs. The secret lies in understanding that what you sustain within, they cannot escape without. Thought is not limited by distance, time, or space. When you dwell lovingly upon them, when you picture them seeing you, hearing you, and needing you, you are silently sending currents of energy that reach them unfailingly. Have you ever noticed how, when you think intensely about someone, suddenly they call, text, or appear in your life? That is not coincidence. That is evidence of the unseen thread of consciousness binding you both. The ancient wisdom declares, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is not only about who you are, but also how others perceive you. What you accept in your heart about your relationship is exactly what is broadcast from you and absorbed by them. If you hold within your imagination the picture of them longing for you, cherishing you, seeing you as unforgettable, you set into motion the very energy that makes it so. You are planting seeds in the fertile ground of consciousness, and in time, those seeds bear fruit in their mind. Let's explore the practical secret. When you want to stay on their mind 24/7, you must first choose the inner picture and feeling you want them to carry. It cannot be rooted in fear, anxiety, or desperation. Those feelings send the wrong message. Instead, it must be rooted in love, joy, and certainty. See yourself through their eyes as irresistible, magnetic, unforgettable. Imagine them speaking your name, smiling at the thought of you, feeling a pull that they cannot explain. Hold that vision until it feels natural, until you know it as truth, and then release it in faith. This inner work is not about begging or forcing someone to think of you. It is about aligning yourself with the certainty that they already do. It is the gentle confidence that the bond exists, and your role is simply to nurture it in imagination. Just as a mother knows her child without words, so too does the one you love pick up your silent thoughts and feelings. This is the telepathic secret. Feeling is the channel, imagination is the message, and faith is the bridge. Think of it like this: you are the broadcaster and they are the receiver. If you want them to think of you constantly, you must keep broadcasting the right frequency. That frequency is not doubt, but assurance. Not fear, but love. Not wondering, but knowing. Each time your mind drifts to worry, you simply pause, breathe, and return to the vision of being desired, loved, and unforgettable. With practice, this becomes your natural state, and when it is natural to you, it becomes natural for them to reflect it. Consider the story of Jacob, who labored with vision and persistence to obtain what was promised. His unwavering faith in the outcome brought it into being. In the same way, your unwavering inner vision that you are in their thoughts and heart creates the outward evidence. It may begin subtly. You sense them looking at your posts, reaching out in small ways, or appearing in dreams, but soon it grows into undeniable connection. The mind cannot resist what is continuously impressed upon it. When doubt arises, remember this: they are already thinking of you. The very desire you feel is proof of the connection. Desire is not given without the power to fulfill it. That longing is the signal that somewhere within their consciousness, you are alive, stirring, and active. By choosing to believe this fully, you align yourself with the unseen reality that soon becomes visible. Here is a simple practice. Each night before sleep, close your eyes and imagine them lying awake, thinking of you, smiling at the thought of you, and feeling drawn closer. Do not struggle, simply enjoy the scene until it feels real. Let yourself drift into sleep with that feeling. As you sleep, your subconscious carries the impression directly into their mind. The dream state is the highway of telepathic connection. When repeated, this becomes their habitual thought. Another practice is to speak inwardly as though you are already in conversation with them. Hear them saying, "I can't stop thinking about you," or "You are always on my mind." Answer them with love and certainty. These inner dialogues are not idle fantasies, they are creative acts. They set the tone for the energy exchange between you. When you hold them often, you will notice outer signs: a sudden message, a glance, a chance meeting. The outer always follows the inner. Do not confuse this with obsession. True telepathic connection is gentle, not forceful. It flows from love, not fear. If your thoughts become anxious or controlling, pause and return to peace. Remember, what you impress in yourself is impressed upon them. Would you want them to feel your worry or your confidence, your fear or your love? Always choose the higher. That is the way to remain not only on their mind, but in their heart. The unseen law is this: the one who occupies your imagination will feel it. The one you picture constantly will be drawn to you. The one you lovingly hold as already thinking of you will find themselves unable to resist your presence. This is why it is said, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Prayer is not begging, it is assuming. It is imagining and accepting the state as already done. So ask yourself now, can you accept, in this very moment, that you are unforgettable to them? That their mind returns to you like the needle to the magnet? That your image and your presence live within them without effort? If you can accept it within, you will soon see it without. Their actions, their words, their eyes will reveal what your faith has already created. There is no separation in consciousness. Though the world may place you miles apart, though circumstances may seem to divide, the inner world knows no distance. Spirit transcends space. When you think of them with love, you are with them. When you believe they think of you, they do. What you accept within is the only law, and the outer world bends to reflect it. You need not wait, you need not question. Simply live from the end. Live from the joy of already being on their mind. Feel the sweetness of it now. Smile as though you know a secret, because you do. The unseen connection is already active, and every loving thought you hold deepens it. So go forward with faith. Know that your silent words are heard, your feelings are felt, and your vision is creating. Keep the inner flame alive, and soon you will see the reflection in their actions, their eyes, their words. You are unforgettable, and they cannot escape the truth of it. In every moment, choose to believe this, and you will discover the greatest telepathic secret of all: that love, once accepted within, is forever impressed upon the heart and mind of the one you desire. When you begin to understand this inner power, you stop searching outwardly for signs and start creating them inwardly. The outside world is simply a mirror, a faithful reflection of what is sustained within. If you want them to dream of you, picture it. If you want them to wake up thinking of you, feel it. If you want them to look at you with unshakable attraction, imagine it until it feels natural. Do this without strain, without impatience, but with the calm assurance that it is already so. Remember the words, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is not hoping someday they will think of you. It is the knowing they already do. Evidence will come, but first, it must be believed within. The seed of thought planted in faith grows invisibly before it sprouts visibly. Do not uproot your seed with doubt. Instead, water it daily with imagination and love. Think of it like tuning an instrument. If you wish to create harmony with someone, you must strike the right note within yourself. That note is belief. That note is joy. When you inwardly vibrate with certainty that you are always on their mind, they cannot help but feel the same pull. It is as though you are playing a melody in your soul, and they, without knowing why, find themselves humming along. Some people wonder, what if they do not think of me? What if I am forgotten? That question is itself the very barrier. The truth is, the moment you ask in that way, you are declaring the opposite of what you want. The solution is not to question, but to assume. Close your eyes and declare within, I am unforgettable. I am on their mind always. I am the one they cannot release. Repeat this not as effort, but as enjoyment, as if savoring a sweet song. The more natural this becomes, the more easily it transmits to them. This is the mystery of the inner conversation. Every word spoken within yourself echoes outwardly. If you silently say to yourself, they love me, they adore me, they cannot stop thinking of me, your subconscious accepts it, and the subconscious of the other receives it. The two are joined in ways the physical eye cannot see. This is why words of life and love are powerful. They are not empty. They are living vibrations that travel, plant, and grow. Let us take an example. Imagine a person who constantly fears their beloved has forgotten them. Each day they replay scenarios of being ignored, of being abandoned, of being unwanted. What happens? Those images are impressed on the subconscious, which faithfully projects them into the outer world. The beloved seems distant, distracted, uninterested. Not because it was destined to be that way, but because the seed planted was fear. Now consider another person who holds within the unwavering belief. They think of me all the time. I am cherished. I am irresistible to them. That person begins to see outer confirmation. The beloved lingers in their presence, messages them at odd hours, or admits they were on their mind. The law makes no distinction between fear and love. It simply reflects what is planted. Choose wisely the seeds you sow. When you wake each morning, do not rush into worry. Instead, take a moment to feel gratitude that you are on their mind. Whisper silently, "Thank you for being in their thoughts. Thank you for this love that grows." Gratitude itself is a powerful telepathic current. It says to the subconscious, "This is already true." Gratitude waters the seed with joy, and joy multiplies it. Consider how often you yourself have thought of someone without reason. You may be cooking, working, or walking, and suddenly their face appears in your mind. That is no accident. It is the silent call of another's thoughts reaching you. If this has happened to you, why doubt it can happen for you? If you can receive such impressions, so can they. And when you deliberately send them, clothed in love and certainty, they are all the more powerful. Do not underestimate the simplicity of this practice. The mind wants complexity, but the spirit works in stillness. A single clear picture held in love is more powerful than hours of anxious thinking. A quiet faith that they are already thinking of you is stronger than any outward effort. The world may tell you to chase, to persuade, to fight for attention. But the higher law whispers, "Be still and know." When you know there is no chase, the chase dissolves because they are already yours in thought. One of the greatest truths is this: you are not trying to enter their mind, you are realizing you are already there. The moment you loved, the connection was forged. Love cannot be unseen, cannot be unheard, cannot be unfelt. It lives in the unseen realm, and what lives in the unseen must manifest in the seen. Accept this fully, and you will rest in the sweet assurance that they carry you wherever they go. At night, when you lay down, imagine them unable to sleep without thinking of you. See them restless, turning over your image, smiling at your name. In the morning, imagine them waking with you as their first thought. Do this gently, as if watching a favorite scene in a play. The more vivid it feels, the more deeply it impresses. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts, and once accepted, it is communicated. When you pass a mirror, do not see yourself as ordinary. See yourself as unforgettable, magnetic, and captivating. Speak within, "This is who they see when they think of me." Your self-image is the very broadcast you send. If you see yourself as ignored, you broadcast that. If you see yourself as unforgettable, you broadcast that. Which one will you choose? The truth is, they cannot resist what you have already accepted as yours. You are not forcing a thought upon them. You are simply aligning with the thought that already belongs to you. For everything you desire already exists in the unseen. Your role is to call it forth with faith and imagination. Each thought, each feeling is a brushstroke painting the image of you in their mind. And the more lovingly you paint, the more vividly it appears in their world. Even in moments when they are not near, affirm quietly, "They are with me in thought." Speak it with tenderness, not demand. Feel it as already true. Carry yourself in the dignity of one who knows they are remembered, desired, and cherished. This energy wraps around you like a fragrance, and just as fragrance cannot be hidden, neither can the pull you create. And when you notice outer evidence, perhaps they reach out unexpectedly, perhaps they confess you have been on their mind, smile and give thanks. Do not treat it as a surprise, but as natural. Say within, "Of course, this is the law, this is the truth." The more you normalize it, the more it repeats. The extraordinary becomes ordinary when faith becomes your habit. Every time you return to the inner vision, you strengthen the invisible thread that ties you together. Imagine the mind as a garden and thoughts as seeds. If you want them to think of you day and night, you must keep planting the seeds of love, desire, and remembrance. Not once, not twice, but again until the garden of their mind blossoms with your presence. The soil never rejects what you plant. It only reflects the nature of the seed. Plant roses of love and roses will bloom. Plant weeds of fear and weeds will grow. The choice is always yours. Do not think this power is rare or reserved for a chosen few. You use it daily without knowing. Have you ever thought of someone intensely, only for them to suddenly appear or message you? Have you ever woken from a dream of someone and then found they were thinking of you too? These are not accidents. They are demonstrations of the law working quietly. The difference now is that you will use it consciously, with intention. Instead of random transmissions, you become deliberate. One of the greatest tools in this inner art is the power of silence. When you become still and quiet within, you create space for the imagination to move unhindered. In silence, you can picture them clearly, feel their energy, and send forth the vibration of being desired and remembered. The still mind is the most powerful transmitter. The world teaches you to act outwardly, to seek, to chase, but the spirit whispers, "Be still and know that I am." In stillness, all things move. Another key is joy. Joy carries a higher frequency than longing or fear. If you want them to think of you, connect the thought of them with happiness, with delight, with love that feels complete. Imagine them smiling as they think of you. Imagine laughter between you. Imagine the warmth of their embrace. Each joyful feeling you cultivate becomes a magnetic current pulling them toward you. They will not know why, but they will feel it. It is important to remember that this is not manipulation. You are not forcing anyone against their will. You are simply aligning with the truth of connection that already exists. You are awakening in them what already lies dormant. Love is never imposed, it is revealed. What you do inwardly is simply clear the way for what is natural to emerge outwardly. Think of it like a radio station. You cannot make the radio play a song that is not broadcast, but you can tune it to the right frequency. Your thoughts, feelings, and imaginations are the broadcast. The other's mind is the receiver. When you continually send out the frequency of love and remembrance, they naturally tune into it. They may not know why they suddenly feel drawn to you, but you will know. You will smile because you have been broadcasting all along. If you find yourself slipping into doubt, remember that doubt too is a seed. Do not water it. Simply recognize it, set it aside, and return to the vision. You do not need to fight fear, you only need to replace it with love. When the mind whispers, "What if they forget me?" Gently answer, "They cannot forget me. I am already unforgettable. I live in their heart." Speak this until it feels true, and it will be true. There is great power in repetition. Just as a song stuck in your mind plays over and over, so too does a thought impressed deeply on the subconscious replay in the mind of another. If you continue night after night to imagine them thinking of you, that image becomes embedded in their consciousness. They will find themselves unable to escape it, not because you forced it, but because it has become their inner truth as well. Do not underestimate the night hours. The moments before sleep are the gateway to the subconscious. As you drift into slumber, you pass from the conscious into the deep mind, and there your visions take root most powerfully. If you imagine them calling your name before sleep, it will not be long before they feel compelled to reach out. If you see them lying awake thinking of you, soon they will confess that very thing. The dream state is the bridge, and your nightly visions are the builders. You may also use waking moments throughout the day to affirm your place in their mind. As you walk, whisper within, "They are thinking of me now." As you sit quietly, feel the warmth of their attention. As you smile to yourself, imagine them smiling too, wondering why they cannot let you go. These little affirmations accumulate. Each one is like a drop of water that fills the cup until it overflows. There is also power in gratitude for what has not yet appeared. Say to yourself, "Thank you that I am always on their mind. Thank you that I am cherished. Thank you that I am unforgettable." Gratitude assumes the desire is already fulfilled. It declares that it is done. The more you give thanks, the more natural the state becomes. And the more natural it feels, the faster it manifests. Even scripture speaks of the unseen power of the heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. In truth, out of the abundance of the heart, the whole life speaks. When your heart overflows with certainty that you are remembered, the other cannot help but mirror it. Life is nothing but reflection. The outer world echoes the inner song. Sing it faithfully, and it must return to you. So whether you are near or far, whether they are present or absent, know this: your thoughts are never in vain. Each one is a messenger carrying your image, your energy, your presence into their mind. What you sustain within will echo within them. What you hold as real will soon be confessed by their lips. If you believe they think of you always, then indeed they shall. Imagine for a moment the quiet pull of a magnet. The magnet does not chase the iron, it simply is. Its very being draws what belongs to it. So it is with you and the one you long to remain in. Your role is not to chase, not to demand, but to rest in the truth that your thoughts and feelings radiate like an unseen magnet, pulling their mind to you again and again. When you send out fear, the pull weakens. When you send out faith, the pull strengthens. That is why the inner work is so essential. Your feelings are not private, they are broadcasts. Your imaginations are not idle, they are seeds. Your quiet assumptions are not empty, they are laws. Every image you accept is already traveling to them, weaving its way into their consciousness until it becomes their own thought. Have you not noticed how two people who spend time together often begin to mirror each other? They finish each other's sentences, laugh at the same things, even begin to think alike. This is not mere habit. It is the mingling of consciousness. What you hold within will inevitably find its way into the one you are connected with, even if no word is spoken. The closeness you feel in spirit will be reflected in closeness of mind. So use this deliberately. If you desire to stay on their mind at all hours, carry yourself in the awareness that you already are. Walk through the day with the quiet joy of one who is secretly adored. Speak inwardly as though they have confessed, I can't stop thinking about you. Let this inner dialogue replace any doubt. Soon, it will not only be an inward conversation, but an outward confession from their lips. The Psalms declare, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable. Notice, not just the spoken word, but the meditation of the heart. That meditation is the true prayer, the true seed. If your meditation is love, they will feel love. If your meditation is remembrance, they will remember. If your meditation is, I am unforgettable, then so it must be. Even the smallest gesture of imagination carries weight. When you sip your tea, imagine them wondering what you are doing. When you dress in the morning, imagine them picturing you. When you lie down at night, imagine them restless with thoughts of you. Each image is like a spark, and together those sparks ignite a steady flame in their heart. They may not understand why they feel drawn to you more and more, but you will know. You planted it. Do not despise repetition. The mind is trained by it. Just as a song heard many times becomes fixed in memory, so too does an image impressed again and again become inescapable. Let your chosen vision play on repeat. Let it be the gentle rhythm in your mind. Soon it will play in theirs without effort. They will find themselves caught in the melody of you. If at times you feel resistance, remind yourself, it is already done. Speak as though the end is reached. Live as though the victory is won. If you wanted them to forget you, would you not dwell on that? Then if you want them to remember you, dwell on remembrance. The law does not care which way it bends. It only reflects what you persist in. So persist in the image of being ever present in their mind, and it will become so. There is power too in imagining from their point of view. Close your eyes and see through their eyes. Imagine them waking and reaching for their phone to see if you've written. Imagine them turning on their pillow and seeing your face in their thoughts. Imagine them smiling quietly at the memory of you. By seeing through their eyes, you align your mind with theirs. What you accept as their inner reality will find expression outwardly. The invisible world is the real world. Thoughts are not bound by walls, miles, or oceans. When you think lovingly of them, that thought crosses every distance. When you assume you are in their heart, no circumstance can deny it. Time and space are powerless against faith. In the unseen, you are already joined, and what is joined within must reveal itself without. Think of your desire not as something to fight for, but as something to enjoy. When you enjoy the inner vision, you give it life. When you rest in the sweetness of already being remembered, you release the struggle. And it is in this relaxed certainty that the law works most perfectly. Faith is not strain, it is ease. It is the calm assurance that the unseen is greater than the seen. So whenever the thought arises, are they thinking of me? Gently turn it into, of course they are. They cannot stop. I live in their mind. Carry this as lightly as you carry your breath, not heavy with effort, but natural with certainty. Each time you do, you reinforce the truth until it becomes unshakable. There is a hidden art in imagining with feeling. It is not enough to simply say, they are thinking of me. The words must be clothed in emotion, in the texture of reality. When you declare, they cannot get me off their mind, allow yourself to feel what it would be like if that were already true. Feel the warmth of their gaze, the sweetness of their thoughts circling back to you. the weight of their attention resting on your spirit. That feeling is the language of the subconscious, and it speaks louder than any spoken word. Every image you create should end with satisfaction. When you picture them thinking of you, let your heart settle into the joy of it being real. If you imagine them longing for you, let your body relax as if it is already happening. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically seen. By living in the satisfaction of it now, you are ensuring it takes root not just in you, but in them as well. It is often said, "Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." In other words, what you hold firmly in your mind becomes bound in the unseen, and what you release in faith becomes free to manifest in the world. If you bind the thought, "I am unforgettable" to them, heaven itself, the unseen realm of the subconscious, echoes back with confirmation, and soon earth, the visible world, reflects it. Sometimes people ask, but what if they resist? What if their mind is elsewhere? The truth is, resistance only exists when you focus on it. Consciousness is one. If you dwell on separation, you strengthen it. If you dwell on unity, you dissolve resistance. By continually affirming the state of being on their mind, you align yourself with the reality where resistance is no more. The unseen law does not argue, it simply reflects. Think of it like light shining into a dark room. The room may have been dark for years, but the moment light is introduced, the darkness disappears. It does not fight back. It cannot. In the same way, your faith-filled imagination dissolves doubt. It floods the other's mind with your image, until remembrance becomes inevitable. They may not understand why, but they will feel you nearer and nearer each day. Another powerful practice is to imagine them confessing. Hear their voice in your mind saying, "You're always on my mind," or "I think about you constantly." Let the tone be warm, sincere, and real. Do not make it forced. Instead, listen to it as if overhearing a truth already spoken. The subconscious accepts this conversation as fact, and the one you love will begin to feel the weight of that confession within themselves. There is also great strength in imagining shared experiences. If you want to stay in their mind, picture yourself walking beside them, laughing with them, sitting quietly together in peace. These scenes create a sense of closeness that the mind cannot ignore. The more natural it feels to you, the more natural it becomes for them. They will begin to recall you in idle moments, to feel you in silence, to see you in their mind's eye without effort. Notice how often you think of someone without reason. You could be in the middle of your day, and suddenly their name, their face, their energy appears. That is the echo of their thought reaching you. If this has happened to you, then it is happening through you as well. Every focused image you send is like a pebble dropped into a still pond. The ripples always reach the other side. You may wonder, how long must I do this before it happens? But time is never the measure. Belief is. The moment you truly accept it, the moment you dwell in it as reality, the seed is planted. From there, it must grow. Do not stare at the soil demanding to see sprouting. Trust that beneath the surface, life is already moving. Your task is not to force the growth, but to keep the soil fertile with faith. When doubt arises, treat it gently. Do not wrestle with it. Simply say within, "That is not my truth. My truth is that I am unforgettable." Redirect your mind with love. The more you do this, the more doubt loses its hold. It is like a shadow that vanishes when light is turned on. Your faith is that light. Imagine too the ripple effect of being on their mind. They may see something that reminds them of you, hear a song that carries your presence, or meet someone who speaks your name. These outer signs are not coincidences. They are the physical reflections of the inner connection. When they tell you, "I was just thinking of you," smile within yourself. You already knew. You planted it long before. And remember, your self-concept is the strongest signal. If you see yourself as forgettable, you broadcast forgetfulness. If you see yourself as magnetic, irresistible, unforgettable, then that is what is impressed upon them. Begin each day by affirming who you are. "I am loved. I am remembered. I live in their thoughts." Carry this like a crown. When you believe it about yourself, the other cannot help but mirror it. At night, when the world grows quiet, your power is strongest. The moments before sleep are sacred because the conscious mind relaxes and the subconscious becomes open. This is the time to impress the image of yourself living rent-free in their thoughts. As you lie in bed, let your body soften and your breath deepen. Picture them lying in their own bed, restless, thinking of you. Imagine them rolling over, reaching for their phone, tempted to call or message. Feel the warmth of their longing. Drift into sleep with the certainty that your image is the last thought on their mind before they close their eyes. Upon waking, let the first thought of your day be, "They are thinking of me now." Carry that truth as you go about your routine. When you eat, imagine them wondering what you're eating. When you laugh, imagine them hearing it in their spirit. When you walk, imagine them picturing you. This practice weaves you naturally into their daily rhythm until your presence in their thoughts feels as normal as breathing. There is also a subtle art in acting as though you are already unforgettable. If you were convinced they could not stop thinking of you, how would you carry yourself? Would you walk in doubt, or would you walk with quiet confidence? Would you feel lack, or would you radiate joy? Act from the end, and you anchor it more deeply. The mind that assumes the outcome has already arrived is the mind that commands reality to align. Remember that imagination is not wishful thinking, it is creation. When you imagine them thinking of you, you are not pretending, you are planting. The seed of thought does not ask if it is real, it simply grows where it is placed. In the unseen world of consciousness, every vision is real the moment it is accepted, and what is real within cannot remain hidden without. There is a passage that says, "Call those things which be not as though they were." This is the essence of staying on their mind telepathically. You call it forth by imagining it already done. You live as if it is present, and because consciousness creates reality, it becomes present. You do not wait for them to say it before believing it. You believe it, and then they say it. In idle moments, turn your imagination into a sweet game. Picture them smiling at your memory while they work. Picture them stopping mid-task because your name crosses their mind. Picture them telling a friend, "I can't stop thinking about them." Each of these images is like adding a thread to the tapestry you are weaving. Over time, the picture becomes complete, and they live inside it. If you ever feel weary, remind yourself of the hidden proof you have already experienced. Remember the time someone appeared in your thoughts and then reached out. Remember the moments when dreams mirrored reality. These are not accidents, they are evidence of the law at work. Let these memories strengthen your conviction. If it happened before, it can happen before, and now you direct it consciously. Even in moments of separation, you are not truly apart. Thought knows no distance, spirit knows no barrier. As surely as light travels across the universe, your thoughts travel into their mind, and the more you fuel those thoughts with faith, the more undeniable they become. The outer world must eventually bend to what is sustained inwardly. Your role is never to force, but to believe. Never to chase, but to assume. Never to doubt, but to rest in quiet confidence. When you rest in this faith, the connection deepens without strain. They begin to feel you not as an intruder, but as a natural part of their own being. They will think of you not because you pushed your way into their mind, but because your presence has become inseparable from their own inner life. There is a quiet strength in repetition. Each time you return to the vision of being on their mind, you are laying another stone in the foundation. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening, just as planting a seed in the ground shows no immediate result. But underground, unseen, the roots are forming, stretching and preparing for the breakthrough. So it is with your thoughts. What you repeat in faith is silently taking root in their mind, weaving itself into the fabric of their awareness until it becomes part of who they are. See yourself as the constant star in their sky. The sun may set, the moon may change, but your light remains steady. In their quiet hours, when the noise of the day fades, your presence shines in their thoughts. Imagine yourself as that guiding light, always there, always visible, impossible to ignore. This picture alone, when repeated often enough, imprints itself so deeply that they will not be able to think of life without you in it. When doubts whisper, "What if they are not thinking of me?" Replace it gently with, "They cannot stop thinking of me." Do not wrestle with the doubt, transform it. Faith is not the absence of questions, but the choice to answer every question with truth. The truth is, consciousness connects all. The truth is, you live in their mind because you have placed yourself there with love and certainty. During the day, practice the art of inner conversation. If you find yourself imagining them distracted, change the script. Hear them say instead, "You are always on my mind." Respond inwardly with gratitude, "I know, and I feel it. Let these inner dialogues become your secret conversations, rehearsed not as fantasy but as reality. The subconscious cannot distinguish between imagination and outer fact. What it accepts as true, it communicates. There is great wisdom in the words, "Whatever you desire, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Notice the order. Believe first, then receive. To believe you are on their mind is to accept the end before the outer evidence arrives. And once accepted, the evidence must appear. This is the divine order of creation. Inner acceptance precedes outer reflection. Picture simple daily moments from their perspective. Imagine them stirring sugar into their coffee and suddenly seeing your face in their mind. Imagine them in a meeting, unable to focus because your name drifts across their thoughts. Imagine them walking outside and the breeze reminds them of you. Each of these quiet imaginations are bricks that build the temple of remembrance within them. When you move through your day, carry yourself as one who is already adored. A person convinced of their place in another's mind does not doubt, does not beg, does not cling. They simply radiate assurance. This radiant assurance is itself magnetic. It draws not only the one you desire, but all good things. You become a beacon, and the one you love is drawn irresistibly into your orbit. In moments of prayer or meditation, hold their face in your mind and wrap it with love. Send them the silent message: "You cannot let me go. I live in your thoughts." Do this without strain, with the sweetness of certainty. The more natural it feels, the more certain its effect. For love clothed in ease is the strongest current of all. Have you noticed how songs get stuck in your head without permission? You did not ask for them, yet they replay again and again. This is exactly how you plant yourself in someone's thoughts, by repeating the inner song of, "They think of me always." You make it so familiar, so natural, that it loops endlessly in their mind. And just like a song they cannot forget, they will carry you with them day and night. And so, let your heart rest in the sweetness of certainty. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are already chosen in the secret places of their mind. You are not hoping to be remembered. You are already unforgettable. Every silent thought, every whispered prayer, every vision you have held has gone forth, and it will not return empty. The connection is alive, the bond is real, and the love that moves through you is stronger than time, distance, or doubt. Walk now with the quiet confidence of one who knows you live in their thoughts as surely as you live in your own. Let this truth embrace you, strengthen you, and fill you with joy. For when you believe with unwavering faith, the world itself must bow to your conviction, and the one you love will feel you every breath, every moment, every heartbeat, until you are the thought they cannot escape, the presence they cannot deny, and the love they cannot let go. Thanks for watching.